We are in debt. You, me, the government, everyone. So here's the question everyone is thinking, but nobody asks out loud. Why can't the government just print more money and fix it? It's a great question. Hi, I am Buck, and I will try to explain to you as simple as I can. So here's the question that broke my brain when I first heard it. The U.S. government is $34.6 trillion in debt. Your credit card has a limit. Your mortgage has a limit. Even your student loans, God help you, have a limit. But the government, it can literally make money appear out of thin air. So why don't they just print more and pay it all off? If your answer is because inflation, okay, sure, gold star, but you've only scratched the surface. Because the full answer involves dead Roman emperors, a Zimbabwean with a $100 trillion bill. Buckle up. Let's go back to 3rd century Rome, year 218 AD. Emperor Caracalla had a problem. Wars are expensive. Palaces are expensive. Being emperor is expensive. So he did something genius, or so he thought. He started making silver coins, with less silver in them. He'd mix in cheaper metals, same size coin. Officially, same value, but secretly, watered down. This is called currency debasement, and it's basically printing money just with metal instead of paper. Within 50 years, those coins had gone from 85% silver content to less than 5%. Prices across Rome went up 1,000% in a single century. Merchants started refusing the coins. Soldiers demanded payment in food instead of money. The whole system collapsed. Sound familiar? Because here's what makes this really uncomfortable. In 1971, President Nixon did the exact same thing, just with a press conference instead of a coin mold. Before 1971, every dollar in your wallet was technically backed by gold. You could walk into a bank and exchange $35 for exactly 1 ounce of gold. Nixon looked at America's debt, which was rising because of the Vietnam War, and said, "We're done with that." He temporarily suspended the gold standard. That temporary fix is now 53 years old. The dollar is now backed by exactly one thing: the government's promise that it's worth something. Which means the money printer can run anytime, for any reason. And it has. Oh, it has. Okay, story time is over. Let's look at the actual numbers, because this is where it gets genuinely scary. Let me translate what 40% of all dollars printed in 2 years actually means. Imagine you and 9 friends are playing Monopoly. There are 100 properties and $1,000 on the board. Suddenly, someone drops $400 in new cash on the table. The properties don't change. The houses don't change. There are still 100 of everything. But now everyone has more money chasing the same stuff, so prices go up. Because of course they do. That is inflation, and that is why you can't just print money to pay off debt. Every dollar you print makes every other dollar worth less. It's a tax on people who saved, a penalty on people who did everything right. But wait, there's a twist. Because it gets weirder. The government actually benefits from inflation, because debt gets cheaper to repay. Think about it. If you borrowed $1,000 in 2000 and inflation has been running hot for 24 years, you're repaying that debt in dollars that are worth way less than when you borrowed them. The borrower wins. The saver loses. And who is the biggest borrower in human history? Your government, the one printing the money. And this is the con. This is the trick. They inflate the debt away, slowly, quietly, while your grocery bill climbs. And now let me show you the most extreme version of this story. Zimbabwe. 2008. Their government printed so much money that inflation hit 89.7 sextillion% per month. That's 89 quintillion, 700 quadrillion % per month. Workers were being paid twice a day because by lunchtime, their morning wages couldn't buy bread anymore. People burned currency for warmth because it was cheaper than buying firewood. That is what happens when a government answers, "Why don't we just print more?" with "Great idea." Okay, deep breath. We're not Zimbabwe. Let's be real about that. The US dollar is still the world's reserve currency. 60% of global foreign exchange reserves are held in dollars. That gives America enormous power to print, without immediate consequences. But not Zimbabwe is not the same as everything is fine. Here's the situation you are living in right now. The U.S. pays $1.1 trillion every year just in interest on its debt. Not paying down the debt, just the interest. That's more than the entire U.S. defense budget. Meanwhile, your savings account, if you're lucky to have one, is earning 4 to 5% interest right now. Sounds good, right? But if real inflation is running hotter than what the official CPI tells you, you're still losing purchasing power every single year. Notice that last number, 2,200 tons of gold. Central banks, the same people who print the money, are buying gold like it's on sale. China, India, Poland, Turkey, Russia, all of them quietly stacking gold bars while telling you the dollar is fine. This is the part where a smarter person than me asks, why would the people who make the money be buying something that isn't money? Because they know what printing does. Because they've read the history, and so now, so have you. So what do you actually do with this information? 3 things. And I want to be very honest with you about what these mean. 1. Understand that cash sitting still is slowly dying. Not dramatically, not overnight, but slowly. Like a plant you forget to water. 2. Hard assets, real estate, gold, equities, commodities, have historically kept up with or beaten inflation over the long run. Not always, not without risk, but historically, yes. 3. Debt, if used wisely, is actually not terrible in an inflationary world. You're repaying tomorrow's debt with cheaper dollars. This is literally what your government does. Now, do all 3 of those things perfectly and consistently for 30 years? Congratulations. You might be okay. Do none of them and leave all your money in a savings account? You might be running a race you don't even know you've entered. Here's where I have to be straight with you. I'm not here to tell you the dollar is collapsing tomorrow. It's not. Probably. I'm not here to tell you to panic buy gold and build a bunker. Don't do that. And I'm definitely not telling you that printing money is always evil. In a crisis, it can literally save lives. COVID relief payments kept millions of families from falling off a cliff. But here's the thing nobody tells you at school, at work, or on the news. The rules of money were written by people who print money. And those rules are designed to benefit people who understand how the game works. Caracalla knew it. Nixon knew it. Jerome Powell knows it. Now you know it too. The question is, what will you do with that knowledge? Governments don't print money to steal from you. They print money to stay alive. The problem is, the bill always comes due. And it always lands on people who weren't paying attention. And that's Buck for today. Got a money question you want answered? Drop it below. I read every single one.